Welcome to this week's episode of Making Sense of It All with Jesse Stakes. I get to talk about two of my favorite things this week: a philanthropic organization that exists to help their fellow humans, and the sport of golf. Diana Riley, the founder and executive director of Swinging with Purpose, is joining me this week to share the organization's mission and how they are fundraising for their beneficiaries through golf and putting on unique events that also bring awareness to so many causes that benefit young women and children. I'm going to let Diana share because I know that she speaks from the heart and she'll do a far better job than I ever could at sharing their mission and how she and the organization are able to commit their time, talent, and treasure in the causes that they seek to serve. Enjoy my conversation with Diana Riley, Executive Director of Swinging with Purpose. Let's jump into it. So, high level, before we actually jump into things, can you tell my audience who Swinging with Purpose is, what you guys do, and what is your mission?
Swinging with Purpose is a nonprofit who supports organizations, and primarily, I have to say, they are the grassroots organizations that serve women, girls, and children. And we address many issues throughout that specific community and their needs. But our primary mission is to give face and voice to those organizations, the issues that they address, basically, and to really be their advocate. So at the end of the day, we measure our success not only by our fundraising and financial support of those organizations, but by the advocacy and the community awareness that we create in hopes that our donor audience fall in love with the mission as much as we and continue to support them.
That's wonderful. I'll tell you, when you and I first started talking, one of the first things that I did was go to your website, which I will put a link to at the bottom of this when my listeners are hearing it. But one of the sections that really caught me was the organizations that you guys help. Everyone from the Lions Club to the Pace Center for Girls, all these organizations that do so much good in our community and help so many amazing causes. And you're helping them generate the dollars that they need in order to achieve their missions.
That's exactly right. We actually help the little guys who don't have the resources to do the kind of fundraising that we do. So we are basically an extension of their fundraising and their awareness campaign. And that's what we do. So they typically are those small grassroots organizations. We have the little Providence House, that's a faith-based organization that provides housing for women that are about to become homeless. We support period supplies because I didn't know that there's a period supply issue in our country. We address food insecurity through blessings in a backpack and areas and various food initiatives that go on in our organizations who may be serving one particular need, but also have needs within the population that they serve that we attempt to help them with as well. So if you look at our impact page on the website, you will really see how we are truly needs-based fundraising. We're not there to just have a big golf tournament, raise a bunch of money, and write a check. We go into these organizations, they become family, Jesse. We know them, we know their mission, we see their impact, and they stay family with us. So what you'll see in the Swinging with Purpose family, we swing for them today, but if their needs change, we swing for them tomorrow. And the example that I love to go back to is COVID. And COVID forced us to pivot. And so we decided that we needed to meet these charities where they were at that time, not what they were normally accustomed to doing for their constituents that they were serving. And so we pivoted. So here's an organization that was providing after school programs. Well, they weren't doing that with COVID, but what we found was those kids and their families were suffering because of the economic issues that were affected by COVID. So what did we do? We pivoted. We parked their after school programs, but we moved to a food pantry and providing services and internet access and technology and the things that they needed at that time that were different from the needs of yesterday. So that's who we are. We're here to be there however they need us and to pivot with them when that need exists.
I think that's amazing. And one of the things that you and I had talked about off air, and I'm going to impress upon it now, and I'm probably going to do it a couple of more times during our conversation. Every single dollar that you raise goes directly to the cause. You guys are not keeping any of the money that you raise. It is going directly to every single cause that you're raising money for, correct?
Our model is different. And what it is we are a volunteer board of directors. So we are very strategically aligned in the skill set that we bring to the board. We're a small board. There are only 5 of us. A new board that just came into existence December because of the transition to the Orlando community. But we all bring something unique and different to the board. And we donate, each of us individually, our time, our tokens, and our talents to the mission of Swinging with Purpose. And so what that does is it allows us to put 95 cents of every dollar that we collect back into the community, into our beneficiaries. And that's what makes us different. That's what makes us special. That's what makes this board special. And I say to my ladies, you are the hardest working board in philanthropy, but it works for us. I know it's a difficult ask, but we've done it. And in 10 years of our fundraising prior to my new board, we did this basically with 3 active board members. And in those 10 years together, we raised $1.2 million with the 3 of us conducting the business of Swinging with Purpose and ensuring that 95 cents of every dollar goes where it's needed. So it's special, but my team is special. And none of this happens without this amazing group of women who come together to make a difference and donate what I always say, those special 3 T's: time, tokens, and talents.
Well, and what I hear you saying, it's quality over quantity when it comes to the people that are doing good work for your organization.
It definitely is. And all of them are committed to the cause and they roll up their sleeves when and as it's needed. And I couldn't be more lucky to have a group of women equally committed to the mission of Swinging with Purpose and its vision. And so I'm blessed. I don't take it for granted. And I thank them every day for what we do together.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, I'd like to dive in a little bit of how you guys specifically raise money for these organizations, because you do so around the sport of golf. But it's specifically, how does this work? Like if somebody asks you guys for your assistance, for your help in raising money, what does that look like from kind of the beginning to end?
We have what we would like to call our template for success. Our major fundraiser and our goal primarily is to tap into the golf philanthropic dollars. So with our template for success, our major fundraiser is our annual golf tournament. And we have an amazing sponsor in the Applied Underwriters Invitational Tournament. And Applied Underwriters provides 80 charities nationally with a sponsorship package that allows us to conduct our fundraiser golf tournament through financing and funding and providing our sponsors and our gifts and prizes. So that's a big piece of our golf tournament that is taken out of our expense factor. And from there, we build from our template a golf tournament and promote that individual beneficiary and or group of beneficiaries. I also have a dear friend and the spokesperson for Swinging with Purpose, and that's Nancy Lopez, the legendary Golf Hall of Famer. And I met Nancy in 2012. I shared my vision. She offered her help. And I have to say, she has become a dear friend, along with spokesperson, and she has given her heart to Swinging with Purpose. And so collectively, we go out and we host our tournament. She typically is there for the tournament, but we do other experience type venues to provide through golf an experience that we hope will generate the type of donor dollars and proceeds to help us continue to fulfill our mission. So it could be an array of things. We also invite golf organizations, especially in the private club industry, to swing with purpose. So it may be a ladies golf organization that's going to swing for a day and choose a beneficiary that serves women, girls, and children, and we help them throw the golf party. So we try to be creative in our fundraising, the major event being the Applied Underwriters Invitational, and then all the other little creative pieces that we throw in between.
I think that's wonderful. And I don't think you could probably have a better swing coach to have on your speed dial either. How's your personal golf game improved since you and Nancy have become friends?
Oh, that's funny. Uh, if you knew and saw my golf swing, you would know that even Nancy Lopez said, I'm not going to touch that golf swing, Diana, because you're not going to put in the time to change that golf swing. So I do what I need to do to play the best golf. I have fun first. And then I take my non-traditional golf swing and I can play with the best of them. And Nancy Lopez does not have a traditional golf swing as well. So we laugh about our golf swings, but she's an amazing putter, and there's surely no doubt that she inspires me. And I play my best golf in her presence.
I think that's wonderful. I think she's aside from being an amazing putter, she played an amazing game of golf. Her record would so show, and also I know that she has contributed a tremendous amount of her time, talent, and treasure to charities across the board, and I think she's a wonderful person for it. So that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that someone like her has been involved with your organization, and she continues to be. Do you find that her involvement, or even just kind of that her reputation is bringing other professionals or other people that are in her circles towards swinging with purpose? Do you find that other people want to get involved from the professional golf ranks?
There's no doubt that having legendary Nancy in our family makes a difference. We have support from various legends, if you will, and Jack Nicklaus has been a wonderful supporter of ours. Tiger Woods has been a wonderful supporter. And where we are comfortable in the ask within her peer group, we go for it. So there is no doubt that Nancy helps us in that manner. And there's a lot of love for her, and where she is involved with the Swinging with Purpose initiative, it always makes a difference.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the community needs that you guys fill. I know that we kind of mentioned some of the organizations just anecdotally, but there's a huge demand and need for dollars with children, with women, with girls that are growing up. And I think that those are the primary markets that you serve. But can you share with us some of the organizations that have benefited from Swinging with Purpose?
We have probably supported close to 20 organizations over the years, and many of them address issues like high-risk teen girls. As you know, our young girls today have many challenges. And so Well Fit Girls is one, Pace Center for Girls is another, and they specifically address, and I'm not going to always say that it's high risk. It's just being a teen girl today, and they have so many challenges that they face. And Well Fit Girls, we're excited about because Well Fit Girls, I took on the founder as a friend and mentor 10 years ago when they started the organization. And they are in their 10th anniversary this year, so they are still thriving in Naples and providing their services. And they will be assuming the trademark license for Swinging with Purpose in 2024, simultaneous with them celebrating their 10th year. So They are an organization of Pace Center for Girls, Providence House, Sunlight Home, Our Mother's Home, Alliance for Period Supplies, Florida Lions Eye Clinic dealing with vision services for kids and disenfranchised individuals. In the city of Immokalee and Naples, we have supported the Immokalee, the Taste of Immokalee project, which is an amazing young entrepreneur project teaching the young people in the city of Immokalee how to be entrepreneurial and how to have hope for a bright and entrepreneurial future through education and training. And these are still all vibrant organizations. They are addressing issues like poverty, abuse. Children's Advocacy Center provides services to children who are in abusive homes. The Shelter for Abused Women and Children was our first beneficiary dealing with homelessness for women who are in the domestic violence relationships. The hunger issue and the food insecurity issue through Blessings in a Backpack, addressing the food insecurity issue in impoverished homes and kids who are on the food support system within the public schools. Human trafficking, which is a big issue in Florida through Wings of Shelter, who was a beneficiary of ours, who provides a safe haven for the girls who have been victims of human trafficking. So I can go on and on with all of the needs that are out there. Foster care. Foster care is another big issue that we support. And that's a whole different discussion in terms of the foster care system and the challenges that kids face who come up through the system and then are sort of thrown into society at 18 to figure it out, and you're on your own now. So we address all of those issues that exist in our society.
Well, and I don't think that there's one thing that you just said that is not imperative, that it continues to be topical and it continues to be addressed. And I think that a lot of the times, people will contribute money through their paycheck, or they'll contribute money like at a charity they see at their, at a local event. But I think what people don't realize when they're not in the nonprofit community and they don't realize, how these things continue to be addressed, is that the funding is necessary all the time. Like, it needs to be a constant flow of funding from different sources, from private sources, from public sources, from, it takes our community rallying around all of these causes, because these are the things that they make our community better today, and they make it far better tomorrow, as long as we continue to address these things. So I think it's incredible the work that you guys are doing. I think that it's amazing that you care enough to help address all these causes, because you can't do it by yourself. Like you said, it takes the people that are rallying to the causes, that are participating in the events, to make these things possible. So I think it's tremendous, Diana. I really do commend you and the organization for doing so. One thing that we really didn't talk about, and I want to circle back to it, is your why. Why did you start Swinging with Purpose? What was it that inspired you to form your organization and to get started in the first place?
Well, Jesse, I'm an entrepreneurial at heart. I've always been an entrepreneur. I retired early. I was very blessed. I have always been involved in my community and giving back. And so when I retired very early, in my early 50s in Naples, Florida, I said to my husband, I cannot just play golf every day. I felt like I had something left in my tank. And so I wanted to give back to my community. And at the same time that I had this desire and transition in my own life, I met Nancy.
Okay.
And I met Nancy at the CME event there in Naples, and I shared that vision with her. And our hearts aligned. And so I have always felt the need to be purposeful, to be intentional, and to leave the place a better place, whether it be my community, whether it be just out on the street shopping at the Publix, but to try to always do better, be better, make a difference for others. And so I had that opportunity now post retirement. And to be able to do that through golf, it just seemed like the perfect fit. And so if I could take this entrepreneurial gene of mine and apply it to this sport that I absolutely love, and knowing very honestly that there are big philanthropic dollars in the golf world, how do I take all of that and make something special with it? And that's really how Swinging with Purpose was birthed. And so I had this amazing support system, and my husband saying, go for it, go do it. And Nancy, of course, Lopez saying, I'm there. However, I can help you. I like this vision. Let's take it and run with it. And that was the story of the beginning of Swinging with Purpose. And I never looked back. And so then I transitioned out of Naples 2 years ago. I have a trademark license, and I came to Orlando, Florida, and was really pondering what it should look like here. And so with that, I decided I couldn't sit and not take advantage of the foundation that's been laid with Swinging with Purpose and put it to good use again in the Orlando area. So that's our vision. Our vision is to be national, to become a household name, if you will, in the golf philanthropy world. And so we're going to try it again. We're launching February 26th here at Lake Nona, my first Applied Underwriters Invitational. And believe it or not, today's a good day because we're almost at 100 golfers with our inaugural golf tournament. The community is showing a lot of love for our beneficiary, which is New Image Youth Center. They are the poster child of who we try to help in Swinging with Purpose. And so a committee researched the community for me because I didn't know Orlando. And they presented 3 organizations, of which our board of directors selected New Image Youth Center. And they're in a very poor community here called Paramore. And they could not be a better introduction of what Swinging with Purpose does. And so given what you were just speaking of just yesterday in talking to the executive director, I said, so what are your needs? Just, do you need technology? Do you need this? And what we find, Jesse, is the small organizations don't ask. They're very
Right.
They make it work with these little budgets. And in the conversation with her, I learned that her needs were simple, just as you just mentioned: snacks for the kids for after school, paper towels, toilet paper, ramen noodles. And they were the basics, just as you described,
Right.
the everyday needs. So what did I do? Last night, I did a big purchase, and a delivery will be, I think, between now and Monday. She will receive snacks and paper towels and toilet paper and sips and ramen noodles and all the little things that these grassroots organizations need day to day, because the needs aren't just one annual fundraiser venue away. They are long term through the year. And so we try to help them through their seasons.
I think that's absolutely amazing. And I think it's great that you're not only, like you said, raising dollars for these organizations, but you're truly getting involved with them. You're understanding what those dollars are for and how you're helping your community. So again, Diane, I commend you. I think that Swinging with Purpose is a tremendous organization. And if my audience hears this and they're interested in getting involved, they're interested in going to the golf tournament, they're interested in just being a part of what you guys are doing, how can they get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to find you?
To find me directly, my email is Diana, Diana, at swingingwithpurpose.org. I say it is not swinging with a purpose because everybody likes for us to be swinging with a purpose. We're not. We're swinging with purpose. Our website is swingingwithpurpose.org. Everything about what we do is on the website. I ask anyone to look at our impact tab. You will see who we are, who we touch, the difference we make. And I hope that our donors get excited because we are transparent. What we do, we are live and a work in progress every day for our beneficiaries. So go to our website. You can always make a donation. You can learn any and everything about our golf tournament that's going to be held on February 26th here at Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. And I hope that this podcast and this story moves you to make a difference, whether it be specifically with Swinging with Purpose or in any other organization, big or small, in your community.
No doubt. Thank you again for joining me. I think that your message is powerful, and I have no doubt that what you just said, it will absolutely make people, and it'll inspire people, and it'll make people want to get more involved in their communities. Diana, we hope to talk to you soon. Again, thanks for joining us, and we will see you down the road.
Thank you, Jesse, for your time.
I'm honored to have been able to have the opportunity to bring you this conversation. When you can create an environment where people enjoy themselves and they contribute to a great cause doing so, I'd call that a win in my books. They do such a great job at making sure that the money that's raised goes where it's intended. I can't tell you what a big deal that is. If you want to get involved, or if you want to join in the fun at one of their events, I'll make sure that you have Swinging with Purpose and Diana's information wherever you see this show promoted. That's going to do it for us today. I'll catch you guys next time.